Okay, what is unique about the 3-cylinder Insight and 4-cylinder Civic engines?
Direct injection, fuel injection.
No. Offset crankshaft.
That's right, that's for hybrids.
Offset crankshaft. This is hybrid stuff we're talking here. When the V6 Accord hybrid engine is operating on 3 cylinders, what is done to reduce the noise and vibration?
B and C.
A.
Actually, it will be, you got D. Now, what is active noise control?
No, well, it's gonna sound like nonsense, but no, that's not right.
It's built into the car's sound system. How many of you guys have worn noise canceling headsets?
Space cancellation, right?
Yeah, it's basically what it does. It's a like I could put on my noise canceling headset when I was using the one that I bought at Office Depot a while back. When I was mowing my grass, it had a little battery in that cord. If I turned that thing on, you couldn't even hear the lawnmower. It just canceled the noise.
Doesn't it?
But you could hear the music and stuff you're listening to or whatever, talk show, whatever. But you couldn't hear the lawnmower.
It has a microphone that picks up the other sound around it and then
Yeah.
it cancels.
It does the opposite. And that's what these hybrids do. And occasionally you may see one that's making noise because the radio is not working right. See what I'm saying? So that's what active noise reduction is. Most Honda hybrid electric vehicles have a dash display that indicates what and what.
2 is D.
Assist and charging. Assist and charging. Number 4, Honda hybrids will still use the 12-volt battery and conventional starter motor under what conditions?
Any of the above.
State of charge of the battery is low, ambient temperature below 0 degrees, failure of the IMA system. That's integrated motor assist, by the way. Any of the above. That would be a D. The state of charge of the high voltage batteries is usually commanded to be what?
50 and 80%.
50 to 80%. We don't want it to be 100%. We don't want it to be really high or really low because it's bad for the battery. Which of the following conditions will protect the internal combustion engine from entering the idle stop mode?
The ice is not into closed loop.
Air
All
conditioning's
of
in auto mode. Ice is not in closed loop. Transmission's in reverse gear. All of the above are correct. Right? The LAF sensor is capable of measuring air-fuel ratios as lean as what?
14.7.
No, that is the perfect mixture.
25 to 1. Yeah, he
Now,
was
is
a.
that LAF? Is that
It's been
lean?
yeah. Joe has slept since we've studied that.
So
You know,
Wikiology trigger or
Richard,
something
sir.
like that.
What was 2 and 6? Was
questions 2 and 6.
Yes.
Both D.
Yeah, that was D
All the above.
and then
Or
D.
B and C.
Yeah, both of those were all the above. Be careful when you're taking a test. If you see the first right answer and you hammer it like I do sometimes when I'm machine gunning a test, if it's an all of the above, you'll get that one wrong. So be careful with that.
The LAF sensor, is that the lean air fuel?
Yeah. Where are the MCM and BCM located?
Huh?
Behind the rear seat.
Behind the rear seat is a good answer. Give him a cigar. Okay.
Don't smoke.
How are the batteries cooled? It could be a bubblegum cigar.
Wait, go back to 8, you missed
Yeah,
it.
a vegetable cigar. How about that?
Yeah, you missed
All right.
it.
Yeah.
What? What? On high voltage, the high voltage batteries used in Honda hybrid electric vehicles use what? They're made up of what?
One large battery module.
No, D-cell size batteries.
Okay, now
I've shown you guys
goes
pictures of that
under the
before.
rear seat.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you need to. Okay. How are the batteries cooled?
They're air cooled and liquid cooled.
Yeah, they're air cooled unless it's a Chevy Volt, and then they're liquid cooled. 11. Technician A says the 2005 Civic can disable 3 of its 4 cylinders during deceleration by keeping their corresponding valves closed. Technician B says this is done by using a 4-piece rocker arm and 4 cam lobes for each valve. Ding,
Both.
ding. That's technician A only. Mark your answer wrong, whoever said both. All right, technician A says, currently all Honda hybrid electric vehicles features 4-cylinder gasoline engines. Technician B says currently all Honda hybrid electric vehicles offer manual transaxles. Neither one of those guys is right. Technician A says a separate audio system is used in addition to the CD entertainment system for noise cancellation when the Accord hybrid is in 3-cylinder mode. Technician B says the owner's manual information is made available to vehicle owners on Honda's website. Who's right about that? That is technician B. All right. You got that? What provides data for the state of charge indicator?
Uh,
Ding, ding.
active battery monitor.
What about the battery condition monitor module? Well, that, you were sort of just jumping into that one head first, weren't you?
Yeah.
This is a true or false. The speedometer on Honda Accord hybrid electric vehicles sold in the U.S. is only configured to display miles per hour.
False.
That's false. You know better than that. During low-speed cruising with the 2006 Civic Hybrid, what? The electric engine alone can power the vehicle. No gasoline is consumed at all. Both A and B, or neither A and B.
Both A and B.
Both A and B is correct. 17, technician A says Honda's hybrid ICE is cranked at 1,000 RPM during starting. Technician B says the operation of the gasoline engine in the Honda hybrid is known as integrated motor assist. Which technician is correct?
But
Technician is A. That's right. All right. Under most conditions, what is used to start the internal combustion engine?
What's an IMA?
Integrated motor assist. In between the transaxle and the engine, you've got a motor on a Honda. It's totally different from the other ones. It's got a little old pancake motor that's about that thick and it's about this big, and it's got 3 wires going to it, and that thing can spin up. And it actually is sort of, think of the Honda inside has got like an electric turbocharger. Basically, when you need more power, it spins up and it actually is helping you along here. It's not quite as complicated as the other ones, and the cool thing about some of the particularly the older Hondas, even if the hybrid system goes offline, you can still crank and drive it like a regular car because it's got a 12-volt starter. See what I mean? That's pretty cool, but they kind of changed that later on. What provides keep alive power on the onboard computers?
the NIM assembly?
No,
That's the nickel metal hydride.
no, that would be the 12-volt lead acid battery.
What was 19?
You know, if we've got that would be between the transmission and the internal combustion engine. That's where it's located. The integrated motor assist is located between the transmission and the internal combustion engine. Which model was Honda's first production hybrid electric vehicle?
CR number.
Year Ford.
Insight.
That good.
You knew that. Second rate amateur. Okay, technician A says the Civic Hybrid. Wait a minute, I messed up. Yeah, technician A says the Civic Hybrid uses a redesigned chassis structure. Technician B says the Civic Hybrid uses the same chassis platform as the conventional gasoline-powered Civics. Which technician is correct?
A.
That's B, actually.
Really?
Yes. I will tell you something they do on these things, though, like on a lot of these little cars, the Prius and all these, they actually have the wind resistance. They want them to really, really be slippery going through the air. Because what they didn't want was to have a regular car set up with the hybrid system and the gas mileage not be that great. You know what I mean? Because most of these vehicles, you've got to drive the car 10 years to put 100,000 miles on it before you break even on the extra money you pay to get a hybrid, you know. Now, that's not quite true with the really little ones aren't that
Because
bad.
of the liquid, the nickel that they have to get out of the ground in Canada, which makes acid rain and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's really not that great for the environment. to get a
Yeah,
hybrid.
well, yeah, that's right. I mean, but they also are using other kinds of batteries now besides nickel metal hydride. But there's a bunch of different kinds of batteries here, but that's another story. Let's see. Technician A says the internal combustion engine in the Civic hybrid electric vehicle uses a timing belt to drive the camshaft.
What?
Technician B says the camshaft in the Civic hybrid internal combustion engine is driven by a chain. Who's right about that? B is right about that.
Go back to 23.
23, technician A says the IVTEC system increases fuel economy. Technician B says the IVTEC system improves the efficiency of regenerative braking. Both technicians are right about that. Let's see, number 25. Which Honda hybrid electric vehicles use the IVTEC engine valve management system?
I'd say it's a Civic.
Both A and B.
I was half right.
That was a crush and burn on your part, wasn't it? Okay. Technician A says the variable cylinder management system disables the rear three cylinders on the Accord V6 hybrid electric vehicle during steady speed operation. Technician B says the variable cylinder management system works by disabling the ignition system for each cylinder that is disabled. Which technician is correct? A. Now, you know, General Motors uses that on some of their really late model Chevrolet pickup trucks and stuff. And they basically will shut off half the cylinders, but they stop opening the valves and they trap a bunch of exhaust in there. And they let that exhaust stay trapped in there and bounce like a spring. So you're only running on half the cylinders. I mean, they do it with valve management, you know, it's pretty cool stuff on that.
Cadillac has a prototype, it's called the 16, or whatever, and it's got like a W16 engine, like a Bugatti or something. And when you're just riding around, you're on 4 cylinders, and when you stop it, you're on all 8.
Yeah,
And then when you actually just giving it all halves, you run on
yeah.
16 cylinders.
Yeah, well, General Motors had a 468 system that they put out years and years ago, you know, that really didn't fly all that well. But I mean, I think they're getting better at doing that stuff now than they used to. Back when gas started going up and it was really bad, people, there was an article I read in one of the trade magazines I used to get, like it may have been Motor Service or something, but they were taking these big V8 engines and they'd put weights in place of 4 of the pistons. And half of the pistons would be as weights, and you just turn the car into a 4-cylinder. Just save gas. I mean, that was the point.
$299 or something.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's $298 in Laverne.
It's
Yeah.
287. It was 287 yesterday down at Cummings on that Fenway.
Well, when it went up to $1 a gallon in 1978, I thought I was going to croak, because I'd been paying 40 cents for it or whatever. All right, here we go. You know, first time I filled my Ford pickup up from its bone dry empty, it cost $6, and I thought, man, how am I going to afford this? You know. All right, so let me see.
Now it takes like 80.
It was terrible. Which one are we on? I forgot.
27.
27. Which component controls the high voltage supply to the integrated motor system? It wasn't the yawn, it was the intelligent power unit. The internal combustion engine in a Honda hybrid electric vehicle can be started by which methods?
Both A and B.
Both A and B. And like I say, they've kind of changed that on the really later model ones, so beware of that. Technician A says the Honda Multimatic continuous variable transmission does not use a torque converter. Technician B says the Multimatic continuous variable transmission provides better high-speed passing performance than a manual transmission or conventional automatic transmission.
Let's go with both.
Both. Technician A says the internal combustion engine runs on a lean air fuel mixture at low RPMs. Technician B says the internal combustion engine runs on a rich air fuel mixture at low RPMs. That's Technician A. They're not going to want it running on anything rich if they can get out of it ever. The hybrid vehicle battery disconnect is located where on a Honda hybrid vehicle?
Behind
Under
the
the seat.
It's behind the rear seat. What does it look like?
This.
Huh?
It's a bright color.
It looks like
Really
a
bright.
fuse.
Huh?
Does it look like a fuse?
No, this particular one looks like a circuit breaker, or a switch, or that wall light switch over there.
Is it
Almost.
yellow?
And you pull this little thing off, you click it over, and then you stick that thing back on there, and it keeps anybody from accidentally turning it on, because you don't want to be shocked. All right, everybody happy with all that?
No.
Make sure that you put your name on your test. We got a test hanging up here right now. I don't know whose it is, but there's no name on it, and they never got credit for that
It's
test.
Ray. It's
That's
that
a
kid-
Moody.
It's Jeffco. It's that kid who used
That's
to
not
be here.
me.
That
Oh, that's
dropped
his?
out. Yeah, it has to be because that's from like the second week or something.
Yeah, this is the first test. Test 1
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been up there for a long time. And Katie was really disgusted about that.
and test 2.
All right.
Probably